I am so delighted for another amazing testimonial in Becoming Light. And it is always such an honor and so exciting when I get to do these because I love the time capsule moment and also you being able to talk about your unique story, how you progressed. So, without further ado, I want to introduce you guys to Tabitha, who I had the unique pleasure of meeting and chatting with in the summertime. And now we are in holiday season in December, which is crazy. But please introduce yourself. Tell us like who are you and where are you located?
Again, I'm Tabitha Osman, and I am in the Southern Charlotte, North Carolina metro area. And I've been a studio suite owner now for almost 10 years.
Amazing. Congratulations. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, I feel like studio suites are more and more popular now, but I feel like a decade ago it was still like more burgeoning. So that's
Mhm.
incredible. Um, and how long have you been in the industry though?
Well, I've been in and out of the industry. So, most recently, I guess going on 14 years, but I was licensed back in 1996 and a few years in the industry, went and got my degree, other things as well. So I have a business degree and um but yeah, so but this has been the it's been fun to make money playing in hair and I've enjoyed it so much.
Yeah, I agree. I remember having a background in journalism and psychology, and I did the whole drudgery of like having the office jobs for a while because I guess I had to have that experience to know that it
Same.
wasn't for me. And
Yep.
then it was such a ping. Like I was never the gal who played with Barbie dolls or did her friend's hair. Like I wasn't that person, but I really thought like, okay, if I could do whatever I could wanted to do, what would I do? And I was like, I think I want to go do hair. So it's been such a joy. And I'm sure that you find that even with the previous careers that you've had and the education, it actually ties into hair.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. Like it's such a multifaceted career that I don't think I realized just how multifaceted it was like so many years ago when I got into it. But I'm sure that you have progressed in your career in so many different ways and phases, especially over the past decade of being your own salon suite owner. And I know that you had already invested in coaching programs before. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. And why did you do that, by the way?
So I think being in the business side of the world, you learn very quickly that if you want to advance and grow, that being part of something bigger than yourself is so important.
Mm,
And those who have gone steps ahead. So investing in your education, one, it gets you in with people that are like-minded and also out of your little like zone where you live sometimes. So often we think that things are so like this is how it's supposed to be. And until you start getting with people that are doing things at a bigger level or doing it in a different way, you don't understand that there is a bigger place, a higher place, a more in tune place that you want to be and how to get there.
yeah, I had remembered during our discovery call, you had talked about I think we talked about two major like mentorships that you had been in before. Like one was like very like marketing strategy, very like business heavy, which is wonderful because of course we need that. And then it sounded like one was really like a lot of the community aspect that you
Hmm.
loved and you loved like being able to go to those spaces and really feel supported. Um,
Yes.
and because you had already had that background, I'm actually really curious, like why did Becoming Light appeal to you? Just because it is like healing and business, but I would love to hear.
So the other coaching programs I've been part of and still am, like I feel like they still provide a lot of value. They're very much heavy in the industry side of it, either in technical business or community.
Mhm.
But it's not so much on the soft side, on like how our touch affects our clients. And I started the journey about a year ago when I went and got my holistic trichology certification and got introduced to metaphysical, like the whole metaphysical side
Yeah.
of how our bodies are connected. And I was surprised. I was shocked. I was like, "Oh, this is real. I could actually feel it." I come from a Christian background,
Mhm.
and so often they push the. It's interesting because in my faith, like the spirit is very important, But so
Yes.
often they talk about the relationship and not the spirit. And I think this last year has been a journey of me digging into what that spirit side actually means and how
Hmm.
that resonates with me and how it blends with my faith. And and then I also went into a program for Reiki. I got my level 1 and level 2 certification, which was amazing. But I was struggling with how do I combine these? And like, how do I provide this level of connection, this level of care for my clients in a way that was beneficial, but that was also not taking me away from my love of doing hair?
Yeah.
Because for me, um, the education that I'm getting, it's not that I'm trying to leave the industry, it's that I'm trying to make more of a mark, make the time that when my clients are sitting in the chair with me, that it is the most valuable one, that they leave loving their hair, of course, because that's the basic thing, but that they walk out feeling lighter, feeling that they have connected with somebody, another human. And so often as life gets busier and busier, that time is so much more difficult for clients to find that connection, to find that away place, and that place to feel um, renewal.
Yes.
And so when I discovered this whole metaphysical side and just started opening myself to it, that was when I found Becoming Light. It was like a rabbit trail I went down one day, and I was like searching through, like I was, actually, it's ironic. I had decided that I wanted to like switch out my Instagram. And so I'd taken
Oh,
all of the hairdressers I follow off of my business Instagram and I had put it over onto a personal Instagram.
cool.
And so that then became like this super, super like focused industry feed. And
Hmm.
so as I was going through and kind of like confirming who I wanted to follow and then like digging in, and then on my other one, really like honing into who my target market was and where I was wanting to go with my business, that was when I found you. It was like I was going through this path of like really, really laser focusing who I want to be as a business owner and where I want my business to go. And you dropped in my lap.
That's cool. And then what propelled you to book a call? Like, what was the path of progression, right? Like, so, okay, you found me, once you started to fine tune your aperture, but
I
then
mean,
what
mhm.
happened?
So really just reading through like your material and looking over your offerings, and like, again, it was that your program provides that way to integrate
Hmm.
the healing services behind the chair and allow that to become part of the service entire process, not like, oh, we have to book a separate thing for this and oh, you have to book a separate thing for that. Well, I can if I want to,
Yeah.
but like that is what I was looking for specifically, was how
Yeah.
can I provide a higher level of service at the same time while I'm doing my services with my clients.
Yeah, that was always really important. I think that some people definitely go through the path, and I did, right? Like many years
Mm-hmm.
ago when I first discovered healing, because now I'm about a decade in, which is crazy, because I still feel like I'm a kid. But I remembered going through that progression of really loving the energy, right? Because it feels so good. And thinking, oh, do I want to quit doing hair and go full time into healing? And so I had that experience for a while where I took so many full time healing clients, but I missed the hair. And so for me, it's always been that middle pillar. So it's rewarding to meet somebody else who feels that way as well, that they still want that hair. Because I think that there's something so special and alchemical that goes through that process of having not only the outer, but also the inner.
Yes, and I do think that as any business owner, you have to look at your education and how you can use that in any way that life would throw, any situation. And all of the high value coaching programs I've gone through, where I am investing a good chunk of my business income, it is something that I could transition if for some reason I was not able to do hair. And I
Yes.
think that's where I see the value as well. So it is providing a secondary stream of revenue income down the road if I should need to do that, which is just another amazing value.
Yeah. Yeah, I've definitely have a lot of students who, for whatever reason, need to segue more into healing work or even remote healing work, and they're able to do that. So that's always great to hear. But back to you, I want to hear about what were some of the things that you liked about becoming letter? What were some of the things that really worked for you that you enjoyed?
So the way that you break up the modules and really dig into not just because I guess going through Reiki specifically, like I've gone through
Yeah.
one very specific modality
Yes.
and it's phenomenal, but it's limited in the sense of, a session is in between 30 to 40 minutes.
Mhm.
You're not able to easily tackle that in. And when I started going through your modules and just how many different modalities that you provide to allow customization, but in a way that is efficient and
Mhm.
fruitful for the customers that are visiting and sitting with us in a very short period of time, which is huge.
Yes.
Um, and I think that you did a great job of walking us through each individual part of the healing opportunities that there are, whether it was crystal healing, whether it was um, the actual energy work, essential oils. Like there's literally a touch on every component,
Mhm.
which then if somebody wanted to jump off and dig in more, I feel like this program gives you such an amazing, I don't want to say overview because it's not, you do dig in, but it allows you to see all the options and opportunities that there are out there.
It's fantastic. So then tell me about the fruits, how things worked out for you so far in the business now that you're, a couple months out.
Yeah. Um, so I started, here we are, like almost the end of December, which is crazy.
I know.
And yeah, um, so effective November 1st is when I started offering energy work behind the chair. So I haven't had clients come back in yet. So, but it's been first time for every single client that's come in. And I would say that almost 90% of my clients have been open to experiencing it. And of that, probably 80 to 90% have never even experienced energy work at all. So I have been able to open their eyes to something that I had not experienced either. So it's been fun. It's been rewarding to be able to show people just how something as simple as two human beings getting together and coming into a space with intention can really change how they feel during the day. And everybody has just been amazed at just the relaxation that they've been receiving. Um, I've had one client specifically that's been going through the process to get her master's, and had just been paperwork after paperwork and trying to like get everything ready, and felt like she couldn't turn her brain off.
Mhm.
And that was one of the things that she told me after doing one of your sequences is that, when I finished and she set up, she's like, I have not, my brain has not been quiet for months. And just that opportunity for her to let things go, just to let her mind calm down. Um, I've had clients that fallen asleep with me, like, which is funny because I do a very intense scalp massage. And I've had two or three clients literally within like a couple of seconds, like they start snoring. And it's just so funny because they're just receiving that level of relaxation that quickly.
Mhm.
Um, and just being able to open the conversation with other clients that haven't experienced energy work before. Um, yeah, everybody has been loving it, absolutely loving it.
How has this complemented your faith? Since you
I
said that you've been
think,
on that path of progression, right? You're like, oh,
yes,
it's been a year. And so how has it felt for you?
I think the biggest thing for me is it's opened up my connection to my faith. I mean, when I say, my I've become a much more open person in general. And I think that's really where this has not taken me away from my faith, but just allowed me to see it with a new light, to actually
Mhm.
be able to experience something that touches somebody else. I think so often when you're just praying with somebody, like that's generally what we do in the Christian faith. Like, let me pray with you.
Sure. Yes.
There's not necessarily a tangible feeling or a tangible experience.
Mm.
And when I'm doing energy work, I truly feel connection. I truly feel like I'm able to provide something that's not coming from me, it's coming from spirit
Yes.
for my client. They're then feeling a tangible experience. And for the first time, I really feel like people are walking away feeling a deeper connection to their faith because of my faith. And that has been huge. Um,
Yeah.
and just at the end of the day, doing these small little services, because I do long services throughout the day. So and I'm not, don't double book. So I might have 3 or 4 clients I'm doing energy work on a day. At the end of the day, I feel so full. I feel so refreshed. And I think that's the biggest difference. So often within this industry, you can feel depleted at the end of the day,
Hmm.
but there is something about allowing yourself to be open to performing energy work that while you're providing it, you're also receiving it.
Hmm.
And so while that energy is flowing through you to the other person, like like I said, at the end of the day, I have just felt so much more full, so much more at peace, and it's just made everything. Yeah, it's just it's hard, even hard to put words to it. Just honestly, how much just this whole time has changed everything.
Yeah, I feel that. I remember the first time that experienced that with my clients. I still get very emotional and I like cry because it's that feeling of that of the spirit moving through you. It's that connection to the divine, which is what we are all seeking in some form or another.
And I think the bigger thing too is just having this focus in our lives as a healer and as somebody that's a practitioner, having that moment throughout the day to just pause and to give,
Hmm.
but to give in a way that doesn't require anything of you. Because that I think is that what you teach so well in this program is it's not coming from us, it's coming, we're just a conduit.
Hmm.
And just pausing and having that moment to completely just be present allows so much more rejuvenation in myself. And then my clients have been able to see, and the people that have been with me for the past years, have been able to see a huge difference in just my energy, my demeanor, my
Oh.
my whole presence when they're coming in. It feels so much more grounded. That's a
Hmm. Yeah, it's a
industry
buzzword.
term in the healer world. But yeah, no, it just feels so much more intentional. It feels like each visit that I'm able to control the energy in the space. It feels like I'm when my client leaves, that we're all leaving in such a place of contentment and a place of just better.
Yeah, better. Because you have that business background, how has it affected business as a whole for you?
So my goal this whole past year has been, how can I, as my prices have hit a pretty high price point within my area, and I have no intention of stopping where I'm at price wise, but I
Mhm.
did do 2 pretty huge price increases in 2022.
Mhm.
So 2023 has been a place of wanting to ensure that my business is set up for moving through this recession that we're in right now, and providing a point of value for my
Mhm.
customers. So for me, when I was looking for ways to provide value, this program fit perfectly into it. Because that's one of the first questions they ask when they come in for energy work. Is it extra? And I'm like, no, it's part
Mhm.
of your service.
Mhm.
And they're always like, well, of course, let's do it. So
Yes.
um, and I think that treat for them, which is something so different and unique in my market, is a point of providing more value, providing more, um, just something special. And so now then shifting into 2024, I will be having a price increase coming, and I feel very confident that with the place that the foundation that I'm putting in my business, that this is going to be a smooth transition as I shift and move forward and continue to grow.
Yeah. I'm thinking, what what has this done to impact not only the business, but has this impacted your family life?
Well, I'm a single mom,
Mhm.
so, and I have a neurodivergent son who is quirky little weirdo. Love him. But he's almost 16, and this is definitely something where I think that the biggest thing for me, and what I talk about with my energy and how I feel at the end of the day, is
Mhm.
that I'm able to transition into my home life and not depleted. So as
So
I come
important.
home,
Oh,
yes.
yes. I
So as
remember
I'm
the,
coming
oh,
home,
yes.
mhm, it's so much more. I don't feel like I'm as frustrated. I don't feel like I am, and he's by no means a difficult child. I don't want to make it sound like he
Mm-mm.
is. I'm very blessed, but there is, as moms, we have so much put on us, especially as business owners. And
Yes.
so the ability to have confidence in my business, to see a way that I'm providing a higher level, provides so much more comfort for myself. And then just the peace at which I'm running my day, and the fact that my energy is being reset multiple times throughout the day. And then even in the other parts of your program where you're teaching us how to do meditation and how to
Mhm.
um, pour back into ourselves, just using energy work on ourselves. Like if I need that, all those things are there for me as well.
Yeah. What's the advice that you would give someone who is, of course, interested, but still scared, right? And I think that for people, it's that it's either time or money, right? They're like scared to invest the time. The brain goes into what everything that could go wrong. Um, what's the advice that you would give somebody who is interested but maybe hasn't, pulled the trigger?
So I think that for me,
Mhm.
had you come to me a year ago before I even started this journey, like what is energy work, and can I even, like, is it something attainable for me? And I
Yes.
think that the biggest question that a lot of people are going to have is, will this even work for me?
Yes.
And I think that is emphatically 100% yes. Like your program makes this so simple and attainable, and the coaching calls that you provide and the resource that you are on one to be able to reach out and answer questions, like there is so much available to you while you're in the program to ensure that this can work for you. And it's so new in the market right now. There's not a lot of
Mhm.
people providing this type of service. So if they're looking for a way to be able to differentiate themselves in a very busy market, because there's a
Yes.
hairdresser on every corner, but
Yes.
there are not hairdressers with a heart on every corner. And
Mm.
so if you want to be a hairdresser with heart, and a hairdresser that has intentionality, and a hairdresser that is able to not just give good hair, but give good energy, give good a good space to provide more, your program will not disappoint.
Thank you so much for your time, Tabitha. I'm so excited for what 2024 has in store for you. I know
I
how
am
busy
too.
you are, but oh my goodness, it has been such a treat watching you progress. And it's been a treat watching you even mentor the other people in the program. Even like on some of the remote practical sessions, just watching you like guide others has been such a treat to watch. And I really do love the community because of that aspect. It really is a done with us mentorship, which is cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't not teach. Like it's just part of my, like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's
Like, gotta
great.
help.
Yeah, but that's what Becoming Light draws in the best people for that, which is such a treat to watch it happen. Um,
Mhm.
would you mind sharing your information if people want to follow you or stay in contact with you, website, Instagram, anything?
So my website is havenholisticsalon.com. And the salon is on Instagram and Facebook, and that's at Haven Holistic Salon as well.
Thank you so much.